Assemble! Stay dandy, baby. Power to the people! That's what I always say. Well, not really, but it seemed like a pretty good segue phrase for my first ever Patreon-supported review. That's right, I've reached creative rock bottom, and I'm turning the content baby making over to you, the loyal viewer. So with that in mind, let's get one thing straight. I love anime, and I love to talk about the shows that I watch, but that also means that I may not get to review the shows that you love. And for some crazy batshit reason, a lot of you want my personal opinion on tons of different shows. And that's where this new review series comes into play. By supporting my channel on my Patreon, you can make a personal request for me to review a show of your choice. Any series, any genre, old or new. I may even be willing to look at some non-anime material as well. So with that out of the way, let's begin. Today's review was made possible by Jamie Martinez. And Jamie, you've made my first Patreon review a real challenge. You've probably seen the title already, so let's just go ahead and dive into my review of the wonderful and wacky as shit, Amagi Brilliant Park. So here's the show that I would have probably never seeked out on my own. It simply did not pass the Ace Guru watchable test upon first glance. That being said, by the time I finished watching it, it was definitely an anime. Okay, that may not have been a satisfying answer, but Amagi Brilliant Park is definitely one thing: creative. In fact, I would dare say Amagi Brilliant Park is downright charming as hell, bursting with cute and bubbly energy and a cast which is somehow both infuriating and enduring all at the same time. For me, the biggest surprise of the series came from the fact that it's from the creator of the Full Metal Panic franchise. Yep, this wonderfully weird acid trip came from the mind of Shoji Gato, and I love me some FMP. Knowing this made this a pretty easy pill to swallow, considering not only did I like FMP, but even the comedy spin-off Full Metal Panic Famufu. And while this show can have its moments of seriousness and drama, it is first and foremost a surreal magical comedy. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and unpack what Amagi Brilliant Park is all about. The story follows young Kanye Seiya, an obnoxious douchebag with a heart of gold, and a former child star who gets forced at gunpoint into going on a date with his fellow classmate and beautiful sociopath, Isuzu Sento. Not wanting to have his ass get blasted, he agrees and takes her on a date to a shithole amusement park, the famously disappointing Amagi Brilliant Park. The park is filled with goofy mascots, rundown rides, and depressing attractions. However, all is not as it seems. In truth, much of the staff who run the park are runaways from a real magical dimension known as Maple Land. The park exists so that these magical beings can store energy, which allows them to take real physical form in the real world. The problem is that the park sucks royal dick, and this could mean the end of the Maple Land residents. The park's leader and ruler, Queen Latifah, more on that hilarious name later, asks Kanye to use his know-how and savvy to help bring the park back up to its former glory and save the magical freaks of Maple Land. However, they only have a few months to make it happen, so the race is on and the hilarity and awkwardness ensue. So first off, what kind of drugs was Shoji Gato smoking when he came up with this story, and where the hell can I get them? Amagi Brilliant Park is like a 1980s fix-it-up montage, except that it lasts for 13 episodes, and was then rolled in tar and covered with Sanrio Surprises glitter. It's the type of story you might scoff at initially, but at the end of the day, it succeeds because of its crazy characters. The main character, Kanye, is a former child actor with a giant superiority complex. He's narcissistic and full of himself to a hilarious degree. And this is fitting, as his Japanese name's kanji, combined with the pronunciation of his name, is a pun on none other than Kanye West.
Oh, you didn't think of that!
While he can be harsh, he manages to bring out the best of the Maple Land citizens with tough love and a no-nonsense attitude. He's also well-balanced by the other cast members, such as Moffle, the lead mascot, who also just so happens to appear in Full Metal Panic. Initially, Moffle hates Kanye, and watching both of them get into JoJo-style brawls is always funny. Kanye is also given the gift of being able to magically listen to a person's heart. But like the power of Gios, it only works, and only once per person. This was given to him by Queen Latifah. Yes, that is her real name, and yes, she is living single. That might be the dumbest joke I've ever written. The less you know about her, the better. Trust me, just watch the show yourself. She's insanely adorable and surprisingly tragic in her role as the queen of Amagi Brilliant Park. But opposite of Kanye is Isuzu Sento, whose name is amazingly a pun on 50 Cent. It's weird as shit, but then again, everything in this show is. Isuzu is a badass. She carries a magic gun which she can pull out from anywhere on her body where her skin is exposed. This gun and its bullets have a number of cool effects, like causing people to lose memories or straight up just capping someone's ass. Calm, quiet, and deadly, Isuzu is the perfect foil for Kanye. The yin to his yang, if you will. The series could easily de-evolve into a standard will they won't they, but it spends the majority of its time watching Kanye interact with the denizens of Mapleland, of which there are many. Everything from real-life mascots to beautiful singing elemental fairies, and even a giant fire-breathing dragon. You never know who's gonna show up next, and the drama of seeing the characters grow and seeing if they can save the park in their very lives makes the show extra fun to watch. It never gets too serious, and I'm glad it doesn't. The show is highly dependent on its wacky premise, and it works really well. Going into this series for me was tough. I was expecting a loud, dumb, comedy action series filled to the brim with lots of fan service. But it actually managed to win me over with its amazing cast of memorable and weirdly cute characters. It dives into the shallow end of some pretty important themes, such as overcoming adversity, the importance of a loyal community, and allowing yourself to let go of your insecurities and open up to those around you. It's also about letting go of the past and looking to the future, but not forgetting who you are or where you came from. All that from a show with a bunch of goofy mascot animal people. It's kooky, and it's crazy, and it's definitely worth a watch if you're looking for a heartwarming comedy filled with strange magic. I give it 4 Kanye Wests out of 5. And there it is, my friends. That was my very first Patreon-supported review. I gotta say, going into this show, I was honestly kind of freaked out. The minute I saw the title, I knew that this was going to be something of a challenge, and when I watched the very first episode, I almost had to ask myself, am I really going to go through with this? I mean, this is definitely not the type of show that I would typically watch. But then again, that's the brilliance of this brand new review series, and you guys are the ones who can actually make it happen. Remember, if you donate $10 or more to my Patreon, you can make me review a series of your choice. Now, of course, there are going to be some stipulations. If you tell me to review a show that's over 100 episodes long, I might only watch the first couple of arcs. Luckily, this show right here was only about 13 episodes, so if you're looking for a short, funny show, make sure to check it out. There's even a couple of OVAs that I never got a chance to see. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I expected to walk out of this review completely hating this show and making it be the bane of my existence. But I actually ended up laughing quite a bit and actually enjoyed its premise, which, if anything, is unique and unlike anything I've seen. So remember, if you guys want to see me review more shows just like this, please check out my Patreon account, and even if you just want to support just a little bit, remember, a little bit goes a long way. So thank you guys for watching this review. If any of you did have an opportunity to actually watch Amagi Brilliant Park or maybe even read the manga version, why don't you give me your thoughts about it in the comments section below. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this, top 10 videos, discussions, and even our weekly podcast show, The Powerful Nerdcast. And of course, if you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. With that in mind, I'll see you all next time. And as I always like to say, stay dandy, baby.